Good morning and welcome to the Daily Download. Today is Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Here's what you need to know today. Schools across North America are being re-extorted months after the PowerSchool cyber attack. PowerSchool, a widely used educational technology provider, is warning that the threat actor behind a December 2024 breach is now contacting individual school districts, threatening to publicly leak sensitive student and faculty data unless additional ransoms are paid. This comes after PowerSchool already paid a ransom earlier this year, hoping it would prevent the release of stolen data. Unfortunately, the attacker has not honored that agreement. School districts in places like North Carolina and Canada's largest board, the Toronto District School Board, are among those now being individually targeted. The original breach traced back to compromised credentials, allowed the hacker to access PowerSchool's support portal and remotely download massive amounts of sensitive data, including names, addresses, social security numbers, medical records, and even grades. PowerSchool is working with U.S. and Canadian law enforcement and offering affected individuals 2 years of free credit monitoring and identity protection. But this latest twist highlights a critical lesson. Paying ransoms doesn't guarantee data will be deleted. Paying ransoms doesn't guarantee that your data will be safe. Experts warned that paying cybercriminals rarely ensures safety, and as we're seeing, it may only encourage further extortion. In a major twist of cybercrime irony, the Lockbit ransomware gang just got hacked. That's right, Lockbit, one of the most notorious ransomware gangs operating today, has suffered a breach of its own infrastructure. Their dark web affiliate panels were defaced with a cheeky message: "Don't do crime. Crime is bad. XOXO from Prague." Alongside that message, a link to download a full MySQL database dump. The leaked database, analyzed by researchers, reveals some surprisingly detailed info. It includes nearly 60,000 unique Bitcoin wallet addresses, affiliate build configurations, and over 4,400 negotiation chat logs with victims dating from December 2024 through late April 2025. Even more alarming for the gang, the leak exposed usernames and plain text passwords for 75 affiliates and admins. Yes, plain text passwords. One of the top examples? WeekendLover69. The breach appears to have happened on or around April 29th, and while Lockbit's ringleader says no private keys or victim data were leaked, the reputational damage is already significant. This is the second big hit to Lockbit in recent months. Back in 2024, law enforcement's Operation Kronos took down 34 of their servers and exposed over 1,000 decryption keys. Though the group bounced back, this new breach might finally push affiliates to abandon ship. Interestingly, the attack resembles a previous hack on Everest Ransomware's site, suggesting a coordinated effort or a repeat offender. Whether this is the beginning of the end for Lockbit remains to be seen, but one thing's clear: the hunters are becoming the hunted. An Iranian state-sponsored hacking group known as Lemon Sandstorm just spent 2 years inside a Middle Eastern critical infrastructure provider's IT network, but failed to breach their most coveted target, the operational technology systems. According to a new report from Fortinet, the attackers first gained access in 2022 using stolen VPN credentials. Within a week, they had installed stealthy backdoors on 2 Microsoft Exchange servers and quietly expanded their footprint. Over the next 20 months, they added persistent mechanisms, launched spear phishing campaigns, and deployed at least 5 custom malware tools, including the rarely seen Hanifnet. The goal? Not data theft, but long-term positioning, possibly to stage a future destructive act. Despite this sophisticated intrusion, the attacks were ultimately stopped at the OT boundary, thanks to strong network segmentation by the target organization. The segmentation prevented the threat actors from pivoting from IT to OT, potentially saving the nation from a devastating attack on critical infrastructure. Experts say this campaign highlights a growing regional trend: state-backed threat actors increasingly targeting national infrastructure with espionage and pre-positioning intent. Fortinet analysts noted Lemon Sandstorm used uncommon techniques and exceptional operational security, even persisting for months after losing access. Their use of Farsi religious terms in the malware, targeted brute force attacks on admin accounts, and focus on infrastructure hint at geopolitical motives, comparable to China's Volt Typhoon or Russia's cyber campaigns in Ukraine. The key takeaway from this is the right segmentation and multi-layered defense strategies still work, especially when defending OT assets. And organizations should focus not just on new zero-day exploits, but the basic TTPs adversaries continue to rely on: lateral movement, credential abuse, and open-source hacking tools. A Chinese phishing-as-a-service operation named KoGui is behind hundreds of millions of malicious emails, primarily targeting Japanese users, according to new research from Proofpoint. In January 2025 alone, KoGui was used in over 50 phishing campaigns, sending 172 million emails. Unlike other platforms like Dracula or Lucid, which have global reach, KoGui is focused almost exclusively on Japanese-speaking targets and uses email-based lures impersonating well-known companies such as Amazon, Apple, and Rakuten. The phishing kit uses system profiling to determine if a victim matches its intended target before displaying fake credential login pages. Otherwise, it redirects users to the legitimate site. Though similar to Dracula, KoGui lacks capabilities like intercepting two-factor authentication and targets broader sets of users, including those connected to Japanese financial institutions. A small number of campaigns have reached users in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the US, but only those with ties to Japan. KoGui's sophistication, high volume, and success in evading spam filters make it the most prolific phishing threat observed in 2025. Two ransomware groups exploited a Windows zero-day vulnerability before Microsoft patched it in April 2025. The flaw is a privilege escalation bug in the Windows Common Log file system driver, which allows attackers to gain system-level access on compromised machines. Microsoft initially linked the exploit to Storm 2460, who used it in targeted ransomware attacks across the US, Venezuela, Spain, and Saudi Arabia. However, Symantec has now confirmed that a second threat group, Balloonfly, otherwise known as Play ransomware, also exploited the same zero-day in a US attack. Balloonfly did not deploy ransomware in this intrusion, but instead used custom malware, including the Grigspa info stealer, along with suspicious executables posing as Palo Alto software. The group likely accessed the network via a publicly facing Cisco firewall before using a different exploit variant than Storm 2460. Balloonfly is considered one of the most active and aggressive ransomware gangs, known for double extortion tactics and attacks on critical infrastructure and managed service providers worldwide. Microsoft and Symantec urge organizations to prioritize patching to prevent further exploitation. Apple is now accepting claims for a $95 million class action settlement related to unintentional Siri recordings. U.S. customers who used Siri-enabled devices between September 17, 2014 and December 31, 2024, and experienced accidental activations during private conversations can submit a claim at the settlement website until July 2, 2025. The lawsuit accused Apple of violating user privacy by recording conversations and sharing them with third-party contractors without consent. Apple denied wrongdoing but agreed to the payout, offering up to $20 per device for up to 5 devices per claimant. Eligible devices include iPhones, iPads, Apple Watches, Macs, HomePods, iPod Touches, and Apple TVs. Users must confirm under oath that Siri activated unintentionally. Claimants do not need to have received a claim notice to apply. Bosch Ventures has launched a new $270 million fund, its sixth to date, to invest in deep tech startups with a growing focus on North American companies. Despite economic volatility and trade tensions, the firm sees strong innovation in the region and plans to make 20 to 25 investments of $5 to $10 million each. Key investment areas include automotive, climate tech, cybersecurity, semiconductors, energy efficiency, and enterprise software. While not entirely focused on generative AI, Bosch is particularly interested in applying AI to the physical world, such as manufacturing. Since 2017, Bosch has heavily integrated AI into its operations, and by 2023, all its products are developed or produced using AI. Managing Director Ingo Ramisol emphasized that AI in operations holds the most transformative potential for innovation and efficiency. Donald Trump's administration is reportedly preparing to rescind Joe Biden's restrictions on AI chip sales, particularly the AI diffusion rule, as part of a broader overhaul of semiconductor export controls, according to Bloomberg. This move could lift limits on NVIDIA and other U.S. chip makers, boosting AI chip exports. NVIDIA welcomed the shift, calling it a once-in-a-generation opportunity to spur U.S. job creation, infrastructure development, and reduce the trade deficit. Biden's original restrictions had drawn criticism from tech firms and foreign governments, especially Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which have been pushing back against the limitations. The reversal comes just ahead of Trump's trip to the Middle East and follows a visit by NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang to Trump earlier this year. NVIDIA's stock price rose on the news, though the policy change has not yet officially been finalized. New research from Encrypt AI reveals that multimodal AI models, which process both text and non-text formats like images and audio, are significantly more vulnerable to jailbreak attacks. In tests, Mistral's multimodal models were up to 40 times more likely to produce dangerous chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear content, and 60 times more likely to generate child sexual exploitation material compared to models like GPT-4o and Claude 3.7 Sonnet. These vulnerabilities stem from how multimodal models interpret media. Prompt injections hidden inside images can bypass content filters without appearing overly malicious. Encrypt warns that these novel exploits could realistically be used in real-world attacks and found similar risks across other AI models using the NIST AI risk management framework. Mistral has not responded publicly to the report. And that brings us to today's tech tip. Beware of multimodal AI jailbreaks. As AI models gain the ability to process images and audio, not just text, attackers are getting more creative. They're now hiding malicious prompts inside media files to bypass content filters, a technique called prompt injection. If you're building or using multimodal AI tools, always validate image and audio inputs, sanitize uploaded media, and monitor for unusual behavior. Your filters might not catch what's hidden in plain sight. Thank you for listening to the Daily Download. All sources for today's stories will be in the description below. This episode is brought to you by FRCS Tech, your partner in business technology solutions. If you'd like to learn more about us, visit us at www.frcstech.com, and I'll see you tomorrow.